Oh, Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. She'd wash the dishes and scrub the pans, cook the yams and spice the hams, and though her parents would scream and shout, she simply would not take the garbage out. And so it piled up to the ceilings, coffee grounds, potato peelings, brown bananas and rotten peas, chunks of sour cottage cheese. It filled the can, it covered the floor, it cracked the windows and blocked the door with bacon rinds and chicken bones, drippy ends of ice cream cones, prune pits, peach pits, orange peel, gloppy glumps of cold oatmeal, pizza crust and withered greens, soggy beans and tangerines, crusts of blackburn buttered toast, grisly bits of beefy roast. The garbage rolled on down the hall. It raised the roof. It broke the walls. Greasy napkins, cookie crumbs, blobs of gooey bubble gum, cellophane from old bologna, rubbery, blubbery macaroni, peanut butter cake and dry curdled milk and crusts of pie, rotting melons, dried up mustard, eggshells mixed with lemon custard, cold French fries and rancid meat, yellow lumps of cream of wheat. At last, the garbage reached so high that finally it touched the sky, and none of her friends would come to play, and all the neighbors moved away, and finally Sarah Cynthia Stout said, "Okay, I'll take the garbage out." But then, of course, it was too late. The garbage reached across the state from New York to the Golden Gate, and there in the garbage she did hate. Poor Sarah met an awful fate that I cannot right now relate, because the hour is much too late. But children, remember Sarah Stout, and always take the garbage out.
Shel Silverstein on the Dr. Demento Show. He's the kind of man they used to call a Renaissance man, as in Leonardo da Vinci, a man with a multiplicity of great talents. The world first noticed Shel as a cartoonist for Playboy magazine in the early 60s. About that same time, he began his recording career with an album called Harry Jazz. In the 60s, he established himself as a songwriter with a top 10 hit in 1968, The Unicorn, recorded by the Irish Rovers. And then in 1969, he wrote what turned out to be the biggest hit of Johnny Cash's long career, A Boy Named Sue. Shel Silverstein's own record of that song is quite a rarity, and here it is for you, Shel Silverstein on the Dr. Demento Show.
Hey, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much for Ma and me, just his hero guitar and a half-filled bottle of booze. And it wasn't just that he run and hid, but the meanest thing that old man did is before he left, he went and named me Sue. Yeah, he must have thought it was quite a joke, and it got lots of laughs from lots of folks. It seems I had a fight my whole life through. Well, the girl would giggle, and I'd turn red. Some guy would laugh, I'd have to bust his head, and I'd tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Yeah, I grew up quick, and I grew up mean. My fists got hard, and my wits got keen. I roamed from town to town to hide my shame. And I made a vow to the moon and stars, I'd search them honky-tonks and bars, and I'd kill the man that gave me that awful name. It was Gatlinburg in mid-July. I drove up and my throat was dry. I thought that I'd stop in and have me a brew in an old saloon on a street of mud, and there at a table dealing studs sat the dirty, heartless hound that named me Sue. Yeah, I knew that old man was my dad from a worn-out picture my mama had. I knew the scar on his cheek and his twinkly eye. He was kind of bent, gray and old. I looked at him, my blood run cold. I said, my name is Sue. How do you do? Now you're gonna die. So I hit him hard right between the eyes. He went down, but to my surprise, come up with a knife and he cut off a piece of my ear. So I busted a chair right across his teeth and we crashed through the wall and out into the street, a kicking and gouging in the mud and the blood and the beer. Well, I tell you, I fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. Then he went for a gun and I heard him curse when he seen that I had grabbed it first. He looked up at me and he said with a sheepish smile, he says, boy, he says, this world is rough. If a man's gonna make it, he's gotta be tough. And I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I give you that name and I said goodbye. And you knew you'd have to get tough or die. And it's that name that helped to make you strong. He said, you just fought one heck of a fight, and I know you hate me. You got the right to kill me now. I wouldn't blame you much if you do. But you ought to first thank me before I die for the gravel in your guts and the steel in your eye, 'cause I'm that heartless hound who named you Sue. What could I do? I got all choked up and put down the gun. I called him Pa and he called me son, and I come away with a whole different point of view. And I think about him now and then, every time I try and every time I win. And you know, if I ever have a son, I think I just might name him Jim. I'll name him Bob or something like that. I still hate that old man for hanging me up, putting me up tight around girls. I'll name my kid Jack or Frank or Rocky. And if I ever see that man again, I'll wipe him out. I won't let him.
Shel Silverstein singing his own famous song, A Boy Named Sue, on the Dr. Demento Show. We're profiling Shel Silverstein this week. Along with about 100 more country hits, Shel also wrote some popular pop tunes in the 70s, such as Sylvia's Mother and the cover of Rolling Stone for Dr. Hook. And every so often he wrote a book. He's best known in that area for his books of little poems for children of all ages. Where the Sidewalk Ends, which contains Sarah Stout, and A Light in the Attic, which hit #1 on the book chart not too long ago. And every so often, Shel does a record. Here's one from the late 70s, an excellent album called Songs and Stories, which is a bit hard to find, but well worth going through the cutout bins for. Shel Silverstein.
Song of warning for those who play the game. Oh, never bite a married woman on the thigh. Oh my, not on the thigh. Of course you just can't wash it off no matter how she tries. Oh my, she'll try. And when she gets home at night, her husband's gonna ask her why. Is there a tooth mark on your thigh? And you'll say it's just a birthmark or some other silly lie. Oh my, she'll try. But he'll get suspicious and then he will start to pry. Oh my, isn't he sly? And then she'll admit to everything and he will say bye-bye, bye-bye. He's gonna fly. And then he'll say, I don't blame you, but tell me who's the guy. That guy was I. And then he'll come and find you and he'll punch you right in the eye. Oh my, right in the eye. And then he'll run a cheap hotel room and he'll hang himself with his tie. Oh my, his brand new tie. And then she'll take an overdose sleeping tablets and she's gonna lie on the couch and die. So never, 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 never bite a married woman on the thigh.
I've got a girl that I'm just simply wild about. Folks say I'm a lucky boy. Everywhere we go, people rave about this little bundle of joy. She's got freckles on her butt, she is nice. And when she's in my arms, it's paradise. She smells like a rose from her head down to her toes. She's got freckles on her butt, she is nice. She's got freckles on her butt, she is nice. And when she's in my arms, it's paradise. All the sailors give her a chase, 'cause they love her naval base. She's got freckles on her butt, she is nice. She's got freckles on her butt, she is nice. And when she's in my arms, it's paradise. She's like my Nellie from her head down to her elbow. She's got freckles on her butt, she is nice. She's got freckles on her butt, she is nice. And when she's in my arms, it's paradise. With old men she loves to neck. She necks a Rex and gets a check. She's got freckles on her butt, she is nice. She's got freckles on her butt, she is nice. And when she's in my arms, it's paradise. She was born in Hackensack. She made a fortune on her career. She's got freckles on her butt, she is nice. She's got freckles on her butt, she is nice. And when she's in my arms, it's paradise. She drinks till she gets plastered. She gets drunker than my brother. She got freckles on her butt, she is nice.
Larry Vincent with one of the greatest novelty records of the 40s. They used to call those party records. The Freckle Song on the Dr. Demento Show. Before that, Shel Silverstein in Profile with Never Bite a Married Woman on the Thigh.
We asked people who don't like sugarless gum to try our gum. They didn't know it was new Trident.
I would chew this gum over the gum that I've been chewing.
Then we told them it was new Trident.
I'm surprised that it's a sugarless gum. This gum has kept its flavor.
Now Trident's softer, with even longer lasting flavor.
I like Trident sugarless chewing gum because it's soft, it has a smooth texture, and it has a refreshing flavor that lasts for a long time.
The great new taste that'll win you over to sugarless gum.
Taste new Trident.
Coming up on the Dr. Demento Show, Stephen Wright, Weird Al, and a special treat for fans of the I Love Lucy show.
Oh my God, it's Dr. Demento!
We had a couple of calls for some early Desi Arnaz music. Now, I guess most television fans may be only dimly aware of this, but for more than 10 years before there ever was an I Love Lucy show, Desi Arnaz was a popular bandleader doing fairly straight Latin American music. He was very popular. The 40s were the real heyday of Latin music, and Desi was perhaps second only to Javier Cugat, or as Middle Americans called him, Xavier Cugat. Desi made a lot of 78 RPM records, and here's one of his biggest hits, with Desi singing in Spanish and the band playing up quite a tropical storm for the dancers. Here's a real slice of the 40s, Desi Arnaz and the big band and the original Babalu.
Pensando los velorios y qué le hacemos a Babalú. Dame 17 velas pa' ponerlo en cruz. y dame un cabo de tabaco, mañejeñe, y un jarrito de aguardiente, y dame un poco de dinero, mañejeñe, pa' que me dé la suerte. Yep, a gozar, nena, en Santiago se baila la conga. Yo quiero pedir que mi negara me quiera, que tenga dinero y que no se muera. A yo le quiero pedir a Babalú una negara bembona como tú, que no tenga otro negro pa' que no se muera.
You're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Lucy. Hey, Lucy.
Oh, Ricky, you're so fine, you play your bongos all the time. Hey, Ricky. Hey, Ricky.
Oh, Lucy, you're so fine. How I love to hear you whine. Hey, Lucy.
suppose you knew that was coming, but I couldn't resist. Weird Al Yankovic with his first video hit and still one of his best. A lot of people still can't believe it was Weird Al himself doing the role of Desi Arnaz as Ricky Ricardo in that video. Took him 3 hours in the makeup chair. And before that, Desi Arnaz himself with a 78 from 1947 called Babaloo. Back to 1985 now, the new album I Have a Pony. Here's Stephen Wright.
Today I was... No, that wasn't me. Yesterday I saw a subliminal advertising executive just for a second. I finally went to the eye doctor. I got contacts, but I only need them when I read, so I got flip-ups. Keep them on my desk right next to my typewriter. I have the oldest typewriter in the world. Types in pencil. Under my bed I have a shoebox full of telephone rings. Whenever I get lonely, I open it up just a little bit and I get a call. One time I dropped the box all over the floor and the phone wouldn't stop ringing. So I had to have it disconnected. I got another phone though. I didn't have much money, so I had to get an irregular phone. It had no 5 on it. I was walking down the street and I bumped into a good friend of mine. He said, "How come you never call me anymore?" I said, "I can't call everyone I want. My phone has no 5 on it." He said, "That's really weird." He said, "How long have you had it?" I said, "I don't know. My calendar has no 7s." I get up the other day and everything in my apartment had been stolen and replaced with an exact replica. Couldn't believe it. Called my friend in. I said, "Come here, look at this stuff. It's all an exact replica. What do you think?" He said, "Do I know you?" It's a small world, but I wouldn't want to paint it. Just get out of the hospital. I was in a speed reading accident. I hit a bookmark. Flew across the room. I've been doing a lot of painting lately, abstract painting, extremely abstract, no brush, no canvas. I just think about it. One time I went to a museum where all the work in the museum was done by children. They had all the paintings up on refrigerators. I also went to a museum where they had all the heads and arms from the statues that are in all the other museums. I left there and I was walking down the street and I saw a man who had wooden legs and real feet. He asked me if I knew what time it is. I said yes, but not right now. I like my dental hygienist. I think she's very pretty. So whenever I go to have my teeth cleaned while I'm in the waiting room, I eat an entire box of Oreo cookies.
Well, you can't see electricity or moving on the line. How in the world can you doubt it when you can see it shine? When you get salvation, the current you can feel. You won't have to have nobody to tell you that it's real. Some people don't know good music when they hear it in the air. Some people, they don't know God when they kneel down in prayer. But let me tell you something, and I'm not gonna tell you wrong. When you get salvation, you'll know it by its tone. Well, you can't see electricity, I'm moving on the line. How in the world can you doubt it when you can see it shine? When you get salvation, now the current you can feel. You won't have to have nobody to tell you that it's real. Some people don't believe in religion, they think it's all a fake. It's just as real good people as eating a T-bone steak. It's as sweet as any honey that any bee could make, with a good old sugar molasses and a great big chocolate cake. Now you can't see electricity, I'm moving on the line. How in the world can you doubt it when you can see it shine? When you get salvation, now the current you can feel. You won't have to have nobody to tell you that it's real. This old-time salvation he gave to me and you. I'm a-feasting on the mountain like Jesus told me to. I'm a-drinking from God's fountain that flows from up on high. I'm a-feasting on the mountain where God's fountain won't run dry. Well, you can't see electricity, I'm moving on the line. How in the world can you doubt it when you can see it shine? When you get salvation, now the current you can feel. You won't have to have nobody to tell you that it's real.
Some mighty fancy Sunday go-to-meeting guitar from Jimmy Murphy on a rare one from 1951 on the Dr. Demento Show. That's Electricity. And Stephen Wright with some extraterrestrial one-liners from his new album called I Have a Pony.
Dear Search, I never believed a search encounter could happen to me.
You know, I always loved your TV commercials, but I never thought a search encounter could happen to me. Was I wrong? Last week when I went to the movies alone, the prettiest girl sat down right next to me. Boy, that's the last time I'll ever go to the movies without Search. Signed, still seeing movies alone.
Search works when you're ready for love. Your breath is too.
Search and sugar-free Search with Redson, just in case you're going to be face-to-face.
In our next hour on the Dr. Demento Show, the funny 5 most requested songs of the week, couple of great novelty records from the 60s, and our special topic, meat, on the Dr. Demento Show Westwood One Radio Network.